Okay, today we're going to be doing a project that involves the T tool. I call it the T tool project. So first thing you need to do is File, New, Course in Photoshop. Make sure you're in inches, 8.5 by 11, and keep your resolution low, please. Okay, and say OK. The great thing about the T tool is that you do not need to get new layers. It automatically will get a new layer. The T tool is located right here. And you have horizontal, you have vertical. Don't worry about the mass yet. We'll get to that in another lesson. So click on the horizontal type tool. And click here. And I'm going to write the word hello. Oh, something happened. That's okay. Start over. Hit the T tool. Write the word hello. Okay, so this layer, just like always, if something messes up, just trash it. Okay, go back to hello. The one thing about the T tool is that you do have to have it highlighted in order to change things. When you click on the T tool, you'll notice that the bar up here changes, and it has to do with all T tool text related items. So for example, you have your fonts. You can change the font. You can also change the point size. So if I click down here on this T, I can make it larger. That's it, 223. I can also make it smaller. Okay, so I'm going to get up to like 150 and then just click. You can also manually type in, let's say I want 175, and then hit enter. However, you have to have it highlighted. So one thing about the T tool, it has to be highlighted. It's saying it doesn't recognize that. Let's see. 175 there. Enter. Okay. The other thing is, in order to change the color, you're not going to use the color palette down here. You're going to use the color palette up here. So that's purple. Beautiful. The other thing about the T tool is you can warp it. So this little guy here allows you to pick a archet, flag, and then of course you can distort it in percentages. Okay? Say OK if you like it, cancel if not. The other thing that you can do is there is a thing called tracking, which I love. Go Window, Character, okay, Window, Character, and this box will appear. And again, this tells you your font size, your point size, and then it does a tracking. And what that means is the space between each letter. So you can up it to like 200. Same thing, it's a sliding scale, so you click down and you can increase that, and then of course you can decrease it. So I'll put it 180. This is really useful when you're starting to design posters and advertisements, and if you want a word to cover a specific section, especially when we're dealing with balance. All right, hello. Okay, let's add one more. I'm going to write again the word hello. I'm going to highlight it, just kind of go over the basics, change the font, okay, change the tracking. I'm going to make and decrease it. Let's see, right about there, okay, and I'm going to change the color. Okay, perfect. Okay. The other thing that you can do, edit, free transform, and transform just like you did with your boxes. You might want to rotate this, okay, and then move it. You can also, just like your boxes, you can drag a layer and put it behind, okay, which makes it nice. All right, a few other things that you can do to the T tool in your text. You can add blending options. So let's go to this hello, and we're going to go, I right-clicked, go blending options. I'm going to click on outer glow, so I'm going to double click, and then normal. I like to have my opacity at 100. You can play around with that, and this is again where you get your color. I'm going to do hot pink, and then you can kind of increase that spread. Woohoo! There, and I say OK. One other fun thing that you can do is you can do these styles. You can fill the inside of your text. Once you create your blending options, if you go do style, it gets rid of your blending options. So make sure you do your style, then your blending options. So here's your style. So I have hello. The style is under adjustments, where all these little guys are. Okay, we'll get into those again. But hit style, and then you can fill your words. Okay, which is awesome. Okay, and we'll learn how to create our own styles, but right now we're just using the ones that the program has available. So let's say I go back to this layer here and I want to throw a style on it. Watch what it does. It gets rid of my blending option. If you want to throw that hot pink back on it, you can. Again, just right click, go back to blending options, click on outer glow, normal, 100%, hot pink, and hello. Okay, so that's pretty much the ins and outs of the T tool. One last thing, if you want to go, ooh, and be careful, sometimes it will activate an old layer. So I'm going to come here. So like this is going to write it vertically. Okay, hello. And it's the same thing applies here. So you can use, the tracking now is just whatever the spacing between your letters. Okay, so there you go. Okay, and the color. Okay, wow, that's wild and bright. Let me show you a couple examples. Here's an example from last year. And again, they're just playing around with the type of font, the styles, blending options. Okay, here's another one. And they really use the warp tool. I'd really like to see you overlapping your words. It gives a lot more depth to the project. Okay. All right, well, so have fun with the T tool. It's a great tool to use, especially in advertising and package design and billboards and t-shirts. And again, you treat it just like you did your boxes. So grab it, drag it, move it. Okay, whatever layer you're on, that's what you can manipulate. All right, have fun and enjoy working with the T tool.